Namaste everyone. Am I audible to you?
Yes.
लैपटॉप को थोड़ा सा इधर कर्व करो, थोड़ा सा लैपटॉप। हाँ ठीक है, ठीक अब ठीक। Okay, so we will start off our session with mantra. So clasp your hands, spine straight, close your eyes. Yes, now together we will speak Om 3 times. Om. Go down to your teacher, all the teachers in the divine. Okay. So yesterday we had completed a skeletal system. Yeah, so I'll recap what we learned yesterday in skeletal system. So anatomy and physiology, which are important part of yoga, you have knowledge about anatomy and physiology, then you practice yoga safely, and particularly asana, practice more safely. In anatomy, we start with the skeletal system, and a skeletal system is actually bones, about bones. You knew that we have total 206 bones, 206 bones in our body, and you studied about 21 major bones, right? And you learned that longest bone in our bodies are femur and our this bone, arm bone. Okay, and there is similarity in there is wrist bone and the leg bones. Similarly, there are similarities between from this wrist joint to the hand and fingers and the ankle joint and the feet. There are similarities. Okay, carpals, metacarpals, and phalanges. Similarly, tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges in the feet. Okay, learn about the tibia and fibula in the leg. Okay, and radius and ulna in our wrist. Okay, and also you learn about the joints, different types of joints. We learned that there are 3 types of joints in view of mobility. So first is fully movable, freely movable. Second is semi-movable, and third is not movable or unmovable. Okay, so unmovable joint is called fibrous joint. Okay, and partly movable is called cartilaginous joints, and freely movable is called synovial joints. And because of synovial fluids, the joints are more mobile, because synovial fluid is a kind of lubricant that lubricates the joints. And also you learn the connective tissues which connect muscles to bone and bones to bone. So the connective tissue which connects bone to bone, and they are normally on the joints only. Okay, so the connective tissue is called what? Tendons and
Ligaments.
Yeah. So ligaments are the connective tissue which connect bone to bone, and they are available on the joints. And the tendons, which are
Bone to muscle.
bones to muscles. So that joints, so muscles are attached to bones because of the tendons. And when ligaments are injured, that is called what?
Sprain.
Sprain. So when ligaments are injured, that is called sprain. And when tendons are injured, that is called
strain.
Okay, a sprain is more dangerous than the strain. Okay, and a sprain, when there is a sprain, then that takes a little bit longer time than a strain. Okay, and also we learned about different movements. Okay, we learned about flexion, extension, adduction, abduction, circumduction, protraction, retraction, hyperextension. Okay, we learned about all these movements. Okay, supine, prone, inversion, aversion. We learned about these movements, and these movements are available in the chapter called group asana practice. In group asana practice, you'll see in anti-rheumatic group. So all these movements are done. And movements are important because we have to keep our ligaments flexible. Okay, so hyperflexibility is also not good for the joints. Hyperflexibility is not good. So in moderate. So because of the fibers, the tissues, or the what you call muscles or tissues, are actually stronger because of the fiber, number of fibers. And if your ligaments are very flexible, then that becomes too much freely, and that doesn't give the stability. So for stability, we need a kind of stiffness also. I mean, to an extent, there should be stability into that. Okay. And always, whenever you start yoga, you begin with joint mobility, and then you do warming up exercises, and then you do different asanas, and in different asanas, you practice different type of things. What first is called stretchings, second is called bendings, third is called twistings. Are you listening, Crystal and Jung?
Yes.
So try to give your ears to my words, because these are not in the book. There are a lot of things, I am recalling, I'm mentioning at quick go. So if you'll be following in the book, then that will take time, and it will pass through your mind. So rather than looking into the book, please listen my words, so that will be more penetrating into you. So in yogasanas, we practice stretchings, bendings, twistings. Okay, and some movements also. So for movements, joints are important. For movements, joints are important, and for when we do different types of asanas, then we work on the muscles. So our muscles are supposed to be flexible. not the stiff. So stiff muscles will hinder the blood flow into that area. And if there's not proper blood flow in any muscular area in muscle, then that part will not get enough nutrients. Okay, so blood supply into a region is very important to supply the nutrients, and because of the nutrients, that is stronger. Okay, so stiff muscle is a sign of sickness, is a sign of some elements, is a sign of some unwellness, unhealthiness into that area. And through asanas, we give stretchings. So when you stretch any part, so stretching means so long you are stretching, there is a kind of vacuum creating to that area, and wherever there is vacuum, the blood rushes to fill that area in the body also and in external environment also. So when there is any vacuum, the surrounding air, the surrounding wind rushes to fill that area. So this is the law of nature. So nature doesn't want any vacuum. Nature wants to fill the vacuum. Similarly, when you stretch, we are creating a kind of space and the blood. After you release the stretching, then blood moves there and that heals. And consequently, there is flexibility in that area. Clear? So this is the mechanism how flexibility is increased through different asana. And I hope you are understanding. And if I ask you this question again later on, then you will be able to answer my questions. Okay? Well, so these are the benefits of asana. And asanas, most of the asanas, particularly static asanas, not the dynamic. Dynamic asanas are called flow. What do you call? Flow. And in yoga, we call vinyasa. In yoga, we call vinyasa. Vinyasa is movement. When your body is moving in flow, this is called vinyasa. So Surya Namaskar. Surya Namaskar is called vinyasa because in Surya Namaskar, you undergo different steps, one after another, in flow. But the different asanas where you have to stay, like Vrikshasana. So in the Vrikshasana, you stay for long. You stand on one leg and you stay there for some breathings, maybe 10 breathings, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 breathings. So in yoga, we count the time with breath, not watching the watch, because while doing yoga, I don't have a watch, and you should not look into the watch again and again, neither on your wrist nor on the wall. So in yoga, we measure the time with breath. Okay. So please remember this thing. Whenever you practice any asana, then you must focus on the breath because breath is more important than the asana. Asana is just an opportunity. Asana is just an opportunity. But what heals, what rejuvenates, that is prana, that is breath. Okay, so this is prana, which has tremendous healing power, not the asana. Asana is just an opportunity. Asana is creating an environment. Asana is creating an atmosphere. But this is prana, which pushes the blood to reach into different areas. Okay, as such, blood is pumped by the heart, but heart is also working because of the breath, and the blood is transported. When heart pumps, then there is no so much pressure. There is a specific pressure like 80 and 120 pressure, 80 and 120 pressures, systolic and diastolic, the blood pressure. So our heart, and that pressure works, and then your blood flows throughout the body, and then that blood comes back into your lungs for the oxygenation, and then again that enters into the heart and that is pumped. So this is the blood circulation. Okay, but asanas have different benefits, but there are some limitations in asanas. But breathings are important. So whatever asana you do, you must remind yourself whether you are breathing properly or not. Okay. And the best practice in breathing while doing asanas is breathing through belly, breathing from belly. When you inhale, your belly goes out. When you exhale, your belly goes in. Okay. So this is the mechanism of breath. So you have to apply breath in an asana. And third thing you have to apply in asana practice is your mindfulness. Mindfulness is listening to your body. Mindfulness is listening to your body, noting what is happening in your body. This is called mindfulness. Because while doing asana, if you're not paying attention to your body, then you may injure your ligaments, you may injure your tendons, you may, you may fall down. You may lose the balance in balancing asana, you may fall down and you may have injury. Or if you are doing rigorous asanas, then you may put extra pressure on target area, and that may cause some injuries. So this is mindfulness, which makes you sensitive to your body. This is mindfulness, which makes you attentive to your body. So mindfulness is also an essential part of yoga. So there are three major parts of yoga. First, asana. Second, pranayama. And third, dhyana. Asana is posture. Pranayama is proper breathings. And dhyana is mindfulness. So there are three major parts of yoga asana or yoga. Clear? Now, any question from anybody? Then I'll move ahead. You don't have. No questions? Okay. So after skeletal system, there is muscular system. Muscular system. Now give your ears to my words. When I'll ask you to look into the book, then only you will look into the book. Otherwise, you will try to listen me so that you will memorize, so that you will give the space to my words to penetrate. And when my words will penetrate into your consciousness, then that will remain longer, for a long time, maybe throughout the lifetime. Because there are some words which remain with you till your death. Why? Because you gave ears to them and you gave room, space into your consciousness. So please give my words the space, room in your consciousness so that they will remain for a long time. So muscular system, muscles, only if there are bones and there is less density of the muscles, then that part will become weaker. So this is muscles, which makes you stronger. Because of muscle, you feel strength. So skinny body or underweight bodies are not stronger bodies. So we need a specific amount of muscles also. And according to your BMI, body mass index, according to your height and width, there is some calculations how much weight you should have in your body. Okay. So be mindful of the muscles also, and don't allow to have too much or extra weight in your body, and also don't be skinny. Okay. Slim, these days there's trend of being slim, looking slim. This is good, but too much of anything is not good. So yoga teaches you to be balanced. Yoga is all about balance, right? Yoga teaches you don't be underweight, don't be overweight. Yoga teaches you don't eat too much, don't just do fastings. Yoga teaches have proper sleep, maximum 8 hours and minimum 5 hours or 4 hours also. But you should have plenty of sleep so that your entire body will relax. But in an amount, generally, the health also, the medical science also, prescribes that you should have a specific amount of vitamins, minerals, protein or carbohydrate or any nutrient. If that goes above, that is an alarm for your health. that is injurious. If that goes down, that is too injurious. So vitamins we need, but not too much and not also less. So also even the carbohydrate, even the fat also, we need fat also. So we should not avoid fat at all. We need everything. So also the muscles. But when we talk about muscles, then we should be, knowledgeable. We should have idea. And there are what is muscles and what is called muscular system, and what are the things uh, which are essential parts of muscular system. Yesterday you learned the smallest unit is molecule, okay, and some molecules togetherly make cell, some cells togetherly make tissue, some tissues togetherly make an organ, some organs togetherly make an organic system, and some organic systems togetherly make an organism, what you call living body. Okay, so the smallest unit is molecule, and then the human body. And in a human body, there are different organic systems. So a skeletal system is also an organic system. So also muscular system is also an organic system. Okay, so muscular system consists of different types of muscles. So first type of muscle is called a skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscles. So what we call muscle, a skeletal muscle, a skeletal muscle means the muscle, that muscle which is attached to the skeletal or the bones, that is called skeletal muscles, like biceps, triceps, or the gluteus muscles, or the chest muscles, or the different types of muscles which are attached to the bones are called skeletal muscles. Okay, and because of skeletal muscles only you look muscular, you look beautiful. If there is only bones or a skeletal, you look like ghost, you look like like very ugly. So a proper mass of muscles, that what we call skeletal muscle, that makes you beautiful. Your cheek, your breast, your glutes, your thighs, entire body. And asanas will properly distribute the muscles in different parts. Okay, so skeletal muscles are called which are attached with the skeletal system or skeleton or the bones. Second type of muscle is called smooth muscles. By its name, this is self-explanatory. If you understand the meaning of a word, that will tell everything about that thing. Okay, so smooth means that muscle is smooth, not the rough. The skeletal muscles could be rough, but not the smooth muscles. By its name, this is smooth. And let me tell you, all the internal organs are made of smooth muscles, like except heart, because heart has different special muscle that is called cardiac muscle. I'll come later on to this, but exclusive of heart, all the internal organs are made of smooth muscles. And if you touch them, you'll find that their surface are very smooth, like stomach, like liver, kidneys, pancreas, spleen, all these are made of smooth muscle. Okay. Yeah. So all these are smooth muscles, organs. Then we come to cardiac muscle. So cardiac muscles are very fine muscles, okay? And that muscle is used in the heart. So nature is very brilliant. Nature is very brilliant, which has made our bodies very systematically and very scientifically. Even the scientists are still discovering, still finding some new things in this body. Of medical science. Too much noise from outside. Please, Prabha, can you tell them that they should speak, in less volume? Too much noise. Okay, so cardiac muscles are very fine muscles, and they are made of special what you call components. The heart walls, muscular middle layer, the inner wall of the heart, which has arteries and which sucks the blood and that pumps, and there are arteries, they're very fine, and they pump in very rhythmic contraction of our heart. So this is very fine and this is very complicated, and therefore cardiologists study about entire heart system. So there is a specialty in cardiac system, cardiology, what you call heart. Okay, so these are major three types of muscles. First, skeletal, second is smooth, and third, cardiac. Okay, now please understand skeletal muscle tissues features. What are the features of skeletal muscle? First, it's called excitability. So that is excited, that can be excited. So excitements, there are different types of excitements. When you are angry, you're excited. When you are in love, you're excited. So these emotions excite the muscles, and that muscle receives the stimuli in the form of nerve signals from the nervous system. Okay, so everything is controlled by brain. Everything is controlled by brain. So brain sends the signal. So if brain senses good things, then you feel very cheerful, and again your muscles are very happy. And when your brain detects any threat, any fear, then that sends signal to nervous system, and then again that becomes very stiff. That is also kind of excitability. So the first thing is excitability. Second is contractibility. Your muscles can also contract. Contract means shorten. Suppose if you are lifting anything, then your bicep is contract. Okay, so this is second feature. Third is elasticity. Your muscles has ability to stretching, so that protects the bones. So when you fall down, then this is muscles protects the bone. Otherwise, bone will be fractured. And if there is hard falling or very stronger, blow, or you fall down very strongly, very powerfully, and your muscles cannot protect, then that that force goes to the bone and the bone is fractured. Okay, so because of excitability, because of contractibility and elasticity, your bones are safe. And fourth is called extensibility, extensions of the bone. So your bone can be stretched, your bone can be extended. There are many skeletal muscles which are arranged in the pairs, and so that when one contracts, then other is stretched. So this is called extensibility. Okay, like in our arm, one is contracted and the other is extended. Biceps is contracted and tricep is extended. Okay, so there are different types of things happening. This is called extensibility of your muscles. Okay, now smooth muscle tissue feature. Smooth muscles, the internal organs, because they are smooth. First is its shape. So the smooth muscles has ability to receive and respond to the stimulus. And these muscles receive stimuli in the form of nerve signals from the brain. Okay, and also the CNS and PNS, that is yet to come in the nervous system chapter. But our muscles are connected with the nerves, what you call peripheral nervous system. Okay, so nerve impulses are sent to the muscles, and that changes its shape, like skeletal muscles. And there is contractibility in smooth. Okay, contraction. This is like changing the blood vessels widths, changing the eye pupils diameter and lens shape. erection of tiny hairs in the skin. So these are contractibility, or what you call propulsion of urine from the kidneys to the bladder. From kidneys to the bladder, the urine goes because of the contraction, or uterine contraction at the birth time. When you give delivery, when you give the birth, childbirth, then your uterus contracts. And uterus is also smooth, smooth muscle that comes under smooth muscle. So these are the types of muscles. Okay. Now I would refer to our manual book. Please look at the page number 224. Okay. And you can see the lateral view of the superficial human muscles or a skeletal muscle. You can see the lateral view. There are different types of muscles, and every muscle is given different names. You don't need to remember all the names, but you can remember some, very popular names like biceps, triceps, gluteus, soleus, trapezius. These are the popular muscles. This is lateral view. Lateral view, you can see the tricep, right? Tricep. Sensor carpi ulnaris. So that is attached to ulna. Ulna is in the wrist bone, ulna. And that goes to the carpals. That's why its name is extensor carpi ulnaris. Can you see gluteus medius? Can you see gluteus medius on the hip? Gluteus maximus. So gluteus maximus is the larger part of our buttock. Then there is bicep femoris also. Bicep femoris. So there is bicep in our arm also, and bicep in our femur. Femur is thigh bone. And soleus. Can you see soleus muscle? The lateral view in the leg. And what we call calf muscle, that is called gastrocnemius muscle. Calf muscle is called gastrocnemius muscle. So these are lateral view. Now see page number 225. It has anterior view. From head to the toes, different types of muscles. See, trapezius muscle. This is trapezius muscle. This one is trapezius muscle. In bodybuilding, this is shown very much. Trapezius muscle. Then this chest muscle. Chest muscle is called pectoralis major. Pectoralis major. Then you can see biceps, biceps. Then inner thigh muscle, pectineus, or adductor longus, or gracilis. These are inner thigh muscles. And outer thigh muscles, you can see sartorius or rectus femoris. Rectus. No, rectus, there is rectus abdominis also. In abdomen also, there is rectus abdominis. Can you see? Rectus abdominis and rectus femoris. So rectus means the long muscle. The muscle which is running in the length. So this is the length of this muscle is longer, rectus. There is rectum in the large intestine, Rectus abdominis. You can see the patella. Patella is, kneecap, and ligamentum patella, and tibialis anterior. This is front, and there's shin bone. shin bone, there is tibia or shin, special muscle, and soleus muscle you see in the leg, tendons of extensor digitorum longus. Okay, so this is anterior view, and in abdomen, see, in abdomen, rectus abdominis, external oblique. The sideways in our abdomen is called external oblique. What we call abdomen. This area is called abdomen, external oblique. So the 6 packs, or the these packs are available in rectus abdominis muscle in our belly. Now see posterior view. See the head, aponeurosis of occipitalis. Then trapezius, what I showed you there on the shoulders, trapezius muscle. Then triceps from the back views. Then erector spinae, covered by lumbar fascia, this muscle. Gluteus maximus, you see, gluteus maximus. This is the larger part of our hip area, hip muscle. Now thigh muscles. Semitendinosus, biceps femoris. Semimembranosus. Then gastrocnemius, tendocalcaneus, tendons, tendocalcaneus. These are 3 views: lateral, anterior, posterior view. Okay. Now we'll see anterior and posterior view of deep human muscles. We have seen superficial muscles, now deep human muscles. There are muscles inside. Okay. So most of the deep muscles are there directly against the bones. Okay. So let's see anterior view, then posterior view. Oblique internus, adductor longus, adductor magnus. Okay. So these are the muscles. Now, please see page number 228. Motor units. Okay. So muscle fibers have to contract quickly when stimulated in order to bring about a given action. And this is done through the nerve impulses. And how nerve impulses are sent to our muscles? Through motor units. Okay. Now, if you will see in that page, in the diagram, you see that there is bone, then there is muscle, and there is motor nerve. Can you see motor nerve? And motor nerve carries motor neurons. Motor neurons. And motor nerve fiber, what you call axon. Motor nerve fiber is called axon. And motor end plates and muscle fibers. So this is a structure of how every muscle is connected with the nerves, and so that the brain will control that muscle. Okay. So there's a motor unit. Motor means from brain to muscle. That is called motor. Now there are different types of muscles contractions: tetanic contraction, twitch contraction, isotonic contraction, concentric, eccentric, isometric. But these are contractions only, okay? And these names are changed according to their forms, according to their natures and features, okay? So tetanic contractions are actually produced when several stimuli are bombarded a muscle in rapid succession. So there is a rapid succession, then there is called tetanic contraction, repeated contractions of muscles, okay? And this is the normal way muscle contracts. Like when you are doing push-ups, okay? When you are doing push-ups, then you are contracting different parts of the body, different muscles of the body, continuously. That's called tetanic contraction. And twitch contraction is very quick. Twitch contractions, very quick contractions in response to the stimulus. Okay. And isotonic contractions, you can see when you lift anything, when you are picking up any heavy stuff, then your bicep, there is contraction in this part. It's called isotonic contraction. And concentric is when you are, lifting very heavy things, more heavier things. Then there is concentric, centered. That part is getting like a centered part, more centered. This is called concentric. Okay. And eccentric is the muscle lengthens even though exerting tension, being pulled. So lengthening, this is called eccentric. And isometric contractions, when tension is increases but the muscle remains the same length, is called isometric contraction. And during that moment, it neither lengthens or not shortens. Isometric. Okay. So these are the contractions name of the muscles. Now, naming culture. Actually, muscles are named according to their locations, their shapes, their sizes. Some muscles have been named according to their positions in the body, like rib muscles, like intercostal muscles. So intercostal muscles are actually running between the ribs, between two ribs. There's intercostal muscles. Ribs are called costals. Intercostals means between the ribs. It's called intercostals because of their locations. Then there are some muscles like trapezius muscles, shoulder muscles, trapezius muscles, because it has different shape like deltoid, triangular shape, latissimus shape, wide shapes. So there is according to their shape, trapezius. And then there is different type of muscle called like gluteus muscle. Gluteus muscle is because of its size. Gluteus maximus. There is name gluteus maximus and gluteus minimus. So in our, buttock area, the maximum part of the gluteus is called gluteus maximus, and the end part, which is the less or the minimum part, that's called minimus, because of its shape and size. And there are some muscles according to their direction of the muscle fibers, like transversus abdominis, rectus femoris. Yes. Okay. Now, muscles of the abdominal wall. Now, please see the abdominal wall. This is abdomen. And this is cut and shown with a diagram. The surface is called skin. Then inside the skin, there is Camper's fascia, then Scarpa's fascia, and muscle. So muscle is covered with a sheet of layers of the tissues. So the outer layer is called skin, and then skin is connected with the muscle with fascia. You have learned about the ligament and the tendons. And ligament and tendons, these are different types of connective tissues. There are two types of connective tissues, ligament and tendons, and third is called fascia. So fascia is connective tissue that connects muscle to muscles. Okay, so there are three connections. One, bone to bone, muscles to bone, then muscles to muscles. Clear? So bone to bone connective tissue is called ligament, muscles to bone, tendons, and muscles to muscles, fascia. So skin, this is skin, this is outer layer, right? This is outer layer, and this skin is attached to the muscle with something adhesive that is very that is connected. So stronger. If you'll pull out, if you will peel this skin, then you can see the white stuff inside the skin. This white stuff is connective tissue, is called fascia. Okay,
That white layer.
White layer, yeah.
Yes, I have seen that.
Yeah. Okay. Now there are two types of muscles: flat muscles and vertical muscles. Flat muscles, by its name, are flat, like side of the abdomen, what you call external oblique, flat muscles. Okay. And internal oblique, these are transversus abdominis. They are flat muscles in abdomen. Then there is vertical muscles. Vertical muscles is rectus abdominis and pyramidalis. You can see in the picture. Can you see? Okay.
Yes.
I can see the muscle attachment and fibers, tendons, tendon structure. Now see the tendon structure. You see the page number 234. There is bone, and muscle is attached to the bone with fiber of tendons. Can you see? There is muscle. There is example of the bicep brachii agonist, triceps brachii antagonist are attached to the arm muscle. Okay, with tendons. Now arrangement of fibers. There are fibers. So muscles are made up of group of fibers, and they are called fascicles. They are arranged in variety of different patterns, and therefore there are different size shapes of muscles because of their different patterns. Okay. Parallel, pinnate, convergent, circular. They are the different shapes of the arrangement of the fibers. Okay. And what are the actions of fibers? When muscle fiber contracts, it shortens because of the fibers. The strength of muscle is determined by the number of fibers. The range of movement is determined by the length of the muscle fibers. The longer the fibers, the greater the shape, range of the movements. Muscle can contain a large number of short fibers or a small number of long fibers. If the fibers are longer, then they are less in numbers in a specific organ, in a specific part. Okay. Then there are skeletal and muscle care. I mean, accident, you have to be safe. Accidents while walking, while doing asanas, while running or driving. So we have to prevent, we have to be careful. And this is accident, different accidents. Because of accidents, you tear your muscles. Okay, you injure your muscles. And while you're doing yoga, there is possibility of overpressure or falling, balancing asanas, and that this may all these things may cause the muscular dystrophy or muscular problems. Okay. Body environment also affects the muscles. Nutrition, calories, obesity. If you are not doing exercise, then you will have obesity. And if you don't have proper sleep, then also you will damage your muscular health. Exercise, relaxation, yoga, all these are beneficial for muscular health. Okay. Now I'll give a short break. During this moment, please have a look in this book. Then I'll show you a video that will clarify about the muscular system. With short break.
I didn't hear.
Yes, I'm back. Now please have your eyes on the screen. I'll play a video which will tell you about the muscular system.
The muscular system is made up of over 600 muscles. While we won't be covering all 600 individual muscles in this overview video, we will be discussing the main functions of the muscular system, the 5 major properties, the 5 types of muscle movements, 3 types of muscles, and how all of this works together to make up what we know as the muscular system. The primary purpose for the muscular system is to provide movement for the body. Now these muscles receive their ability to move through the nervous system. There are 5 major properties to the muscular system. Number 1, muscles are excitable or irritable. This means that they are capable of receiving stimulation and responding to stimulation from the nerves. 2, they are contractible. After receiving stimulation, they are capable of contracting or shortening. Being extensible means a muscle can be stretched without damage by the application of force. With elasticity, a muscle is able to return to its original resting shape and length after being extended or contracted. The muscular system is adaptable in that it can be changed in response to how it is used. For example, a muscle will enlarge or undergo hypertrophy with increased work. But on the other hand, it can go into atrophy or waste away if deprived of work. Now, let's look at the 5 types of muscle movements. Number 1, adduction. Adduction is the moving of a body part toward the midline of the body. Abduction is moving a body part away from the body. Flexion means bending a joint to decrease the angle between 2 bones or 2 body parts. Extension is straightening and extending of the joint to increase the angle between 2 bones or body parts. And lastly, rotation involves moving a body part around an axis. The muscular system is divided into 3 main types of muscles, and each of these types can be moved by one of 2 ways, either voluntary or involuntary. The cardiac muscle is an involuntary muscle, meaning it operates without any conscious control. These muscles form the walls of the heart and contracts to circulate the blood. The visceral or smooth muscles are also considered involuntary. These muscles are found in organs or organ systems such as the digestive or respiratory system. And the third type of muscle is the skeletal muscle. These are what we typically think of when talking about muscles. These muscles attach to the skeleton and provide the skeleton with the ability to move. The skeletal muscles are classified as voluntary. This is because we have to make a conscious effort or decision to make them move. Although muscles obviously make up the muscle system, there are still some supportive structures that we need to look at that are also a necessary part of the system. Tendons and fascia are important supportive structures for the skeletal muscles. Simply put, tendons are what attach a muscle to a bone, and fascia connects muscles to other muscles. Tendons and fascia work together with muscles, which create the muscular system necessary for movement. While not technically part of the same system, the nervous system is intrinsically connected to the muscular system of the body. It is essential to the voluntary skeletal muscles. If the communication from the nervous system is severed from the skeletal muscles will not be able to produce movement for the body. The body is now in a state of paralysis. This is known as quadriplegia. The only organ that is not directly dependent upon the nervous system is the cardiac or heart muscle. Now there is so much more to discuss about the muscular system, but that's as far as we'll go in this introductory video. After watching this video, you should at least have a basic understanding of what makes up the muscular system, its properties, and functions. For a more in-depth study of the muscular system, look for future CTE videos where we will cover topics such as the 14 major muscle groups, as well as topics such as common diseases and conditions specific to the muscular system.
Okay. How was that video?
Nice. Self-explanatory.
Yeah. So it was an addition to this knowledge, to this chapter. And I hope you have more clarity about the muscular system now. And when you will be doing different asanas, different movements, or any kind of activities with body, you'll be reminded of the muscles, its structures, its functionalities, types, features, and everything. Okay. Our next class will start at 12 for other chapters. So please join at 12. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Namaste.
Thank you.